So I do have thoughts. I do have thoughts on the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight.
So I've seen. Have you seen any of Tyson's latest like training
Yes, and
footage?
that's where my thoughts stem. I'll let you go and then I'll say my thoughts. I have some thoughts on it.
Look, I don't care how old Mike Tyson is. I think he has a chance to beat anyone.
That's where we disagree.
Who
So
do who do you think is going to win this fight?
Jake Paul. If it's a real fight, Mike Tyson has no chance. No
Uh,
chance. Mind you,
I'm
keep
get,
in mind, I
I'm
gotta
giving.
say, I'm a huge Tyson fan. Like
Yeah,
I've
yeah, yeah.
everybody right now, Google Mike Tyson workout, see what comes up.
Dude, so yeah, Mike Tyson workout, Mike Tyson
No, what I'm
knockout
saying, when you Google
montage.
that, my article comes up. Yeah.
Oh, got
No,
that
what
that got
I'm
that
saying,
Google words.
yeah, what I'm saying is I'm a huge Mike Tyson fan. I've the first fight
So
I ever remember watching in my life, I was a little kid watching
yeah.
Tyson and Holyfield. Huge fan. I've read his autobiography books. I've read every book, watched all the huge Tyson fan. Here's the thing. He's 58 years old. He can't move. I'm watching his he can still hit. Your power is the last thing to go. Mike cannot move. Like he does not move at all. He's not gonna like it hurts me to say this. If it's a real fight, he has no chance. Now,
So
here's the thing though. What I think will happen is if it's a real fight, I think Jake will realize within the first minute that he like Mike can't move. So he can still hit him. If he stands in front of him, yeah, Tyson has a puncher's chance like anybody does. So I don't want to say no chance because anybody, it's like the expression you have the puncher's chance. If Jake decides to just stand in front of him and allow Tyson to just stand there and tee off on him, yeah, I mean Tyson can still hit hard. Like you can look at his training, like, he can still hit hard. Power's the last thing to go. But if Jake actually fights him like you fight, and move around, I mean there's no way Tyson's gonna be able to win.
so as you said, you're really a really big Tyson fan. I can't stand Jake Paul, so that could
Yeah.
also cloud my judgment and
Well, I
just
don't
be like,
like him either. Like I
yeah, it's
want
like,
Tyson to win. I
yeah.
hope I'm wrong. I hope Tyson gets out there and he just starts. But I'm just afraid by what I've seen. He can't move. He's not going to be able to get it. Like he's just not going to be able to move around enough to actually create angles, avoid
Mhm.
shots, create angles for offense. Like Jake's going to be able to just kind of pick them apart. Like I'm afraid he's going to be able to just pick them apart. But what I think will happen is I think Jake will probably realize within the first minute that it's like, okay, yeah, this isn't going to be able to be a real fight, and he'll carry him for a while, and then it'll probably just end up getting stopped in like the fourth round or something. That's
How
what I'm
many
I'm predicting.
what did they change it to 8 rounds or 10
Yeah, I think eight
rounds?
rounds, two
Okay.
2 minute eight rounds, 2 minutes
Okay, okay.
each round.
No, I'm pulling for Tyson.
Oh,
I
I know, me
hope
too.
I
But
hope that Tyson catches him with a body shot
mhm.
uppercut combo. And
I
like
hope
just
I'm wrong. I
I,
hope I'm wrong.
I'm like you're saying, I'm hoping, maybe Jake's I want to say underestimating Tyson because I don't think he's underestimating Tyson,
Hmm.
but I think Tyson's gonna get a combo off on him and we'll see what happens.
If I was born and was old enough to recognize what was going on when Tyson fought Buster Douglas, which I think is still like one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. Douglas was a 42-1 underdog against Tyson. And if, speaking of overconfidence, not preparing, I mean, it's kind of famously been written that like Tyson didn't really prepare for that fight. He was not training, just a lot of things were going on to where he was way overconfident, didn't train. The overconfidence caused him to feel like he didn't have to prepare for a guy like Buster Douglas. But anyway, if I was alive and aware of what was going on in 1991 when Tyson fought Buster Douglas, and I would be more shocked if Tyson beats Jake Paul than I would have been for Buster Douglas to beat
Yeah, yeah,
Tyson.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
It's
don't see it
funny.
happen. I don't see any way it happens.
When I think the hard part about this whole fight and comparisons is if Tyson was in his prime Tyson
Oh, it lasts
fight,
23 seconds.
yeah, it would be a bloodbath. Like Jake Paul
Hmm.
he might actually die. Like,
Yeah.
like
Well, I think if Tyson was in his prime, which was a young prime, which actually I wrote the Mike Tyson workout article, and I there was a section in there where I talk about something I like to think about a lot in just terms of athlete development is Mike Tyson an argument for or against early specialization? Because so Tyson's like history, his trajectory, he really started boxing at 13 when he went to a juvenile detention center, started boxing. There was a guy named Bobby Stewart there who was he worked at the prison or the juvenile detention center, and he had all the guys box and stuff, and he realized at like 13, like, oh, this Tyson kid's like he's the real deal. So he took him to Customato, who was kind of a legend. He was kind of like the real life Mickey in a
It's
way.
yeah, it's a what you bringing up the Rocky Six and linking
Yep,
it to now and all this story. It's pretty
kind of
similar.
similar. Like, yeah, Customato was like the real life Mickey, just this old grizzled, boxing coach, and gets his hands on Tyson. He adopts him, and from 13 on, Tyson goes full into training, like starts training full time, which allowed him to become the youngest heavyweight champion ever. I mean, he was the heavyweight champion at 20.
Yeah.
But here's the so all this you'd say, well, yeah, that's kind of an argument for early specialization, right? Like go all in on one sport at 13, go, balls deep and just train for one thing. You become the youngest heavyweight champion of all time. Tyson's prime was from like 20 to 23. He lost to Buster Douglas. He was only 23 years old. Yeah, he had fights after that. All of his best wins were before that, from 20 to 23. Then he started, he lost to, he had a lot of things going on in his life, some management issues, goes to prison and stuff. But anyway, my point is, how could have he could have even been better? You know what I mean? Tyson could have been even better. Like if he,
Hmm.
because especially for heavyweights, like, at 21, 22 years old, like that shouldn't be your prime.
Right, right. Yeah,
He
I'd be
should have hit
curious.
his prime at like 28.
And maybe like you're saying, maybe it was his personal life stuff
Oh, it
playing
definitely
into play and
100%
all that
was. Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, it's I think that's the like we are just saying about who do you think's gonna win type of thing. I think it's hard for everyone to separate Tyson in his prime in their
Hmm.
mind. So you think Tyson in his prime versus Jake Paul, this isn't even a fight. Now Tyson at 58 versus Jake Paul, you still it'd be like if Michael Jordan plays against basketball against a young kid. The young
Hmm.
kid's probably faster, probably jump higher and all this stuff,
Yep.
but you're like, oh, I would not Michael Jordan can still beat him. It's one of those things. You have a vision, an idea of this person at their peak, at their greatest, and it's hard to be like, oh, maybe this person's not as good as they used to
Yep.
be.
Mike Tyson at 22, 23 years old, I would bet everything I own it doesn't go out of the first round.
Oh yeah, for sure.